Conservation and development of primary forests is a topic that has received the attention of many countries around the world. In Vietnam, forest conservation is also being emphasized. Today, Sharing Vietnam would like to introduce you to Gary Gregory Leong, a person from Malaysia. He gave up the position of chairman of a major U.S. financial corporation to come to Vietnam to do research, learn and contribute to the conservation of Vietnam's primary forests in general and Cát Tiên National Forest in particular.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sharing Vietnam on VTC 10 Netflix channel. And today we're going to have a conversation with Mr. Gary Leong about the Vietnamese forest. Hello, Mr. Gary. Welcome to the show.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gary Leong. I'm a Malaysian, but I've been in Vietnam for 25 years now. And I'm currently staying in Nam Cát Tiên in the province of Dong Nai. I'm very happy here.
So first of all, I'm curious about the reasons why you have an immense love with the Vietnamese forest.
I think the love for forests for me started with my dad, because he's an outdoor person. He always liked to go fishing, swimming in the waterfall, running in the rain. And as a small kid, we just got taken along with my father when he's enjoying all these natural things. So I think growing up, I also learned to enjoy all these simpler things in life which are free. And a lot of times in the big city these days, we forget that there are a lot of things that are wonderful and we can still do it.
So could you share with us some of your unforgettable memories about either primary forest and Vietnamese forest that you have discovered?
Obviously, when you spend a lot of time in the jungle, you come across some animals or some reptiles that are a bit more poisonous, a bit dangerous. But usually they don't give you trouble, because animals, if you don't disturb them, they will never disturb you. They just keep far away from human beings. And interesting encounters, there are many. I've seen a snake eating snake before. I've been in the jungle where there's nobody, and in the evening when I'm at my campsite, the animals just walk by. They look at me and I look at them, and it's like they have no fear of human being, because when you are very deep in the jungle, and the jungle that has no human beings visiting or hunting or trapping, the animals actually don't have a fear of human beings. In fact, they look at you like another animal. So they would come, and we human beings, when we put up camp, we've got a lot of biscuits, we have a lot of canned food, we have a lot of drinks. So for them, there's a lot of food around you. And you get the porcupine coming, you get the wild boar coming, you get a wild jungle rat coming in, and they treat your campsite like, có gì ăn không? You just go in, and then for me, it's like, ooh, this is wonderful, because this tells me the jungle is really natural, because in a natural jungle, the animals do not look at human beings and fear us. So then I know this jungle has no hunting, no trapping, so the animals treat the human being, and it's quite wonderful, because you see the animals coming right in front of you.
So I wonder, why did you choose Nam Cát Tiên National Park as a place to conserve in Vietnam?
Okay, I have been to almost 80% of all the national parks in Vietnam, from the south all the way to the north. I still got a few more that I haven't been. They're all very beautiful and very unique. Every different national park in Vietnam have something very unique. Some have a big lake, some have a mountainous, some are wild rivers, some are flat land or a different type of trees. I find the forest in Vietnam, we have beautiful forests, but one of the things that I feel a bit sad is that the animals in the forest are not a lot. They should be a lot. And they're very cautious. So I know there's a lot of trapping and hunting that is going on. So this is one of the reasons why we are here as well. It's actually how to do our part to try to protect the animals and the forests.
Cát Tiên National Park is the nature reserve located in 5 districts: Tân Phú, Vĩnh Cửu in Đồng Nai Province, Cát Tiên, Bảo Lộc in Lâm Đồng Province, and Bù Đăng in Bình Phước Province. This national park is located away from Ho Chi Minh City, 150 kilometers to the north. This is one of the world's biosphere reserves in Vietnam that needs to be preserved and developed. Gary first came to Cát Tiên Forest for the first time 25 years ago. It was the beauty of the wild and the rich flora and fauna that kept Gary here. At first, Gary considered Cát Tiên as a poetic destination to relieve the stresses in life and work. Here, Gary built just a lodge and farm stay. He decides to bring projects to protect the ecosystem, plants and animals of this place, along with the dream of promoting tourism, creating stable jobs for people who have lived on the forest.
So you can see this, actually I have a beautiful shot.
Mm.
This the opposite is a Monkey Island. Yesterday, Marina, the 2 kids, and Lee, they are working inside here, this big island. The conservation of the gibbons.
Okay.
And these are the
Cool.
rapids. Actually, I got a fly cam shot after, I'll probably give it to them.
Mm.
Of these rapids during the rainy season. Very nice.
Yeah. So currently, do you implement any projects relative to promote and conserve the biosphere at this place?
I spend most of my time in Ho Chi Minh City, and being a country manager, I also travel to Hanoi. But Ho Chi Minh City is where my main office is. So whenever I have some free time, so over the weekend, I could get my driver to drive me and drop me off. And I would go and spend the weekend inside. And there are many times I come to this jungle by myself. I find actually Cát Tiên still have quite a lot of big animals, still quite rich in terms of wildlife. And Cát Tiên is unique because it has, in a relatively small area, small is like 1,000 square kilometer, so it's not really very small. But in that area, you get a lot of different habitat, different environment, and each environment have a different type of animals. And so it is quite rich in biodiversity. And it's very near Ho Chi Minh City as well, where it's a big successful city, full of people, very dynamic. So it allows me to, in 3-4 hours, come here, and it's like total nature, total wild. And 3-4 hours later is another big city with everything you have. So after a while, I chose naturally Ho Chi Minh City, Cát Tiên, as a place to start something that we have about 6 years ago. We are promoting ecotourism, whereby we try to make this place more well known for travelers that like to be in natural environment. And the way we do it is we build a lodge. We provide accommodation, restaurant, and some travel guide services. And because we are providing these services, we employ people around us. And we rent boatmen, we rent drivers, so that they also have an economic, and we hope that when we have an economic stake, then with education, which we will implement later, we can all help to protect the jungle. Because without the jungle, we will lose all our customers. So that is the way we are going about to protect the animals and the wildlife.
So can you share with us some of your difficulties when you started running project here in the first place?
Traditionally, most countries, when they try to protect their wildlife or their jungle or forest, they gazette a place like a national park or state park, and they put in rangers and they put in laws to protect hunting, fishing, gathering of wild plants. And if you look in Africa, for example, it has not been very successful because you can put boundaries in a big area, but you cannot effectively patrol and control the area because it's so big. You don't have enough rangers to cover everything, and therefore, if the people around it is uneducated or poor, then naturally they look into the forest as a very easy place to get wild meat. We call it bush meat. They are a very easy place to catch fish or take wild plants or orchids and all that. So the next way of protecting the forest they found is to have a lot more collaboration between the park management and protection unit with the people around the park, and to create some form of economic stakeholder for them. That means they benefit because there's a park. So how do they benefit? They benefit from being a guide or some employment or selling of services. So when the park then find that it's more beneficial to protect if we also include the villagers and the people around the area by giving them opportunities, economic opportunities. So they become more well off, and therefore, and also education, so that on the long run, they don't hunt and trap. But in fact, if they have income from employment or selling services or guide or boatman or running small little hotels or doing handicraft, then they have an income from ecotourism. And with education, they will know they better protect the animal and the jungle, because without that, the foreigner or the locals will not come and they lose their livelihood. So this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to create an a stakeholder among the villagers here with our project. And over a period of time, we hope.
So finally, what is your message when choosing Nam Cat Tin National Park as a must-go place and a home sweet home?
I think Nam Cat Tin, before we came, not many people know about Nam Cat Tin. When I first came, in the evening, after 6, everything was closed. Now, 6 years later, we have cafe, we have a restaurant, we have some desserts, we have some lodges around. So I can see the changes because we are here. So there is some economic activity, and it can only get better. And I chose, and I think there is good progress, and therefore I am quite hopeful for Nam Cat Tin. And I sometimes hear from the elder generations here, they say I'm quite happy that we start having this economic activity. At least the children, they don't all run away and work in the big city. They have reason to stay, you know. So that is something we hear, and I think that is a good part that we are developing this community here.
Thank you very much for your sharing, and thank you for all the things you have done for Nam Cat Tin National Park.
Thank you. I'm glad to be in part of your show. Thank you. Right.
And thank you for watching. See you next time.